What if the biggest retirement risk isn't running out of money, but running out of purpose? Millions of Americans spend decades chasing a retirement number only to discover that financial freedom alone doesn't create happiness. Today, I'll show you the retirement lie most people don't realize until it's too late. The biggest threat isn't running out of money, it's running out of meaning. For decades, Americans have been told the same retirement story. Work hard, save aggressively, invest consistently. Reach your retirement number, then everything will be fine. It sounds logical. The problem is that reality often looks very different. Many retirees spend 30 or 40 years focused on building wealth. Every financial decision revolves around growing their nest egg. Every sacrifice is made with retirement in mind. Then retirement finally arrives. The alarm clock disappears, the meetings stop, the deadlines are gone. And for the first few months, it feels amazing. But eventually, many retirees experience something they never expected. A question starts showing up. Now what? The financial industry spends thousands of hours teaching people how to build money. Very few people teach retirees how to build purpose. That's why some retirees who have millions of dollars still feel unhappy, while others with far less money wake up excited every morning. The issue was never just money. The issue was identity. For decades, work gave people structure. Work created goals. Work created progress. Work created relationships. Work created a reason to get out of bed. When work disappears, many people discover they never built a replacement. This is especially common in America because our culture often connects personal value with career success. People spend years answering the question, "What do you do?" Then retirement arrives, and suddenly that answer is gone. Research consistently shows that social isolation, lack of purpose, and inactivity can negatively affect both physical and mental health during retirement. That's why some retirees say, "I thought retirement would make me happier than this." Not because they failed financially, because they never prepared emotionally. They prepared for retirement income, but they didn't prepare for retirement life. And that's the lie many Americans have unknowingly accepted. The lie is that money creates retirement happiness. Money creates options. Money creates freedom. Money creates security. But money alone does not create meaning. And without meaning, even a financially successful retirement can feel surprisingly empty. The retirees who thrive are rarely the ones obsessing over every extra dollar. They're the people who wake up knowing why today matters. Retirement isn't just about having enough money to stop working. It's about having enough purpose to keep living fully. Before we continue the video, here's a quick reminder. Like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the bell icon. Once you understand the problem, the next question becomes obvious. How do you create purpose after retirement? Most people make the mistake of waiting until retirement arrives. They assume purpose will somehow appear naturally. Unfortunately, it usually doesn't. Purpose is not something you find. Purpose is something you build. The retirees who enjoy the highest levels of happiness tend to focus on three areas that many Americans overlook. Build a reason to wake up. One of the biggest adjustments in retirement is losing structure. For decades, your schedule was already decided. Work told you where to be, when to show up, what needed to get done. Retirement removes that structure overnight. The solution is creating a new one. Not a rigid schedule, not another full-time job, just meaningful routines. Maybe every Monday morning is dedicated to mentoring younger professionals. Maybe every Wednesday is volunteer work. Maybe every morning starts with a walk, reading, and planning the day. The specific activity doesn't matter. Having a reason to get out of bed does. Replace achievement, don't eliminate it. Many retirees think happiness means doing absolutely nothing. For a few weeks, that feels great. For years, it often becomes frustrating. Human beings need progress. We need goals. We need growth. That's not a work habit. That's human nature. Some retirees start a small consulting business. Others learn photography. Some write books. Others take college courses. Many Americans are discovering new passions through community colleges, local organizations, and online learning programs. The goal is not making money. The goal is maintaining a sense of progress, because progress creates energy, and energy creates fulfillment. Invest in relationships as aggressively as you invested in your portfolio. This may be the most overlooked retirement strategy in America. Many people spend decades building investment accounts. Very few spend the same effort building friendships. Then retirement arrives. Coworkers disappear. Daily interactions decline. Social circles shrink. The result can be loneliness, even for financially successful retirees. That's why strong relationships consistently appear among the most important factors in long-term happiness. Schedule lunches, join groups, reconnect with old friends, spend intentional time with family, become active in your community. The investments on these things can be greater than anything found in the stock market. Because when people look back on life, they rarely wish they had one more percentage point of portfolio growth. They wish they had spent more time with people they love. Create a contribution plan. Many retirees spend years building wealth. Few spend time thinking about how they will use that wealth, experience, and wisdom. Yet contribution becomes the missing piece. Helping others gives meaning to success. This doesn't require donating large amounts of money. Sometimes contribution means mentoring. Sometimes it means volunteering. Sometimes it means helping a grandchild. Sometimes it means sharing knowledge accumulated over a lifetime. The important thing is understanding this. People don't just want to feel successful. They want to feel useful. And retirement becomes far more rewarding when your experience benefits someone else. The real retirement formula. Most financial plans focus on one question: will I have enough money? That's important. But a complete retirement plan asks a second question: what will make my life worth living after I stop working? The happiest retirees answer both questions. They build financial security, but they also build purpose. They build relationships. They build growth. They build contribution. Because retirement is not the end of a meaningful life. It's the beginning of designing one intentionally. Now let's turn this into action, because understanding the problem is valuable, but changing your future requires action. The biggest mistake many Americans make is waiting until retirement to start thinking about retirement life. That's too late. A successful retirement is not built on the day you leave work. It's built years before you leave work. Step 1. Stop measuring retirement success only by net worth. Most retirement calculators focus on one thing: money. How much have you saved? How much can you withdraw? Will your portfolio survive? Those questions matter. But ask yourself another question. If money were no longer a concern, how would I spend my next week? Most people have never seriously answered that question, yet retirement eventually forces them to. Write down your answer. Be specific. Not vacations, not bucket list trips. Think about ordinary Tuesdays, ordinary Thursdays. What would make those days meaningful? That's where real retirement planning begins. Step 2. Create your purpose portfolio. You already have an investment portfolio. Now build a purpose portfolio. Every retiree should have activities in 4 areas: health, activities that keep your body strong and active; growth, activities that help you learn and improve; relationships, activities that strengthen important connections, contribution, activities that allow you to help others. If one category is missing, retirement often feels incomplete. The goal is balance, not perfection. Step 3. Protect time like it's an asset. Most people spend decades protecting money. Very few protect time. But eventually, time becomes more valuable than money. Think about it this way. A 65-year-old retiree may have money that lasts 30 years, but health and energy may not last that long. There are trips you can take at 65 that may be difficult at 80. There are experiences you can enjoy today that become harder later. That's why delaying everything for one more year can be dangerous. The cost of waiting is often invisible until it's too late. Step 4. Perform a Who needs me? Who do I enjoy spending time with? What challenge excites me right now? If you cannot answer those questions clearly, that's where your work should begin. Not in your investment account, in your life. Because retirement satisfaction comes from clarity. The most important lesson. After helping retirees for years, one pattern becomes obvious. The people who enjoy retirement the most are not always the wealthiest. They're the people who understand what money is actually for. Money is a tool. Money is not the destination. Financial freedom is valuable because it gives you choices. But those choices only matter if you know how you want to use them. That's the lie many people eventually discover. They spent decades believing retirement was about accumulating more. Then retirement taught them a different truth. Retirement is not about having the largest portfolio. Retirement is about creating the most meaningful life possible with the time you have left. And once you understand that, retirement planning changes forever. Closing transition. So before you spend another year chasing a bigger number, ask yourself one simple question. Am I preparing only for retirement money, or am I preparing for retirement life? Because the people who answer that question correctly are usually the ones who look back years later and say, retirement wasn't the end of my best years, it was the beginning of them.
If you want to change your financial future, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment below with your next goal.